All right, let's go ahead and get started, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to our webcast this week, which is a dual IDMS and Datacom community webcast. Before I hand you off to Sheila, to kick us off, just a couple of things I need to go through. First, a few questions along the way or comments, and we always hope that you do. We want to get your feedback. Please use the questions box along the right-hand side of your screen to ask them. We'll get through as many of those as we can during our time together today. If for some reason something requires extra research or we run out of time, I'll make sure that Sheila and Praveen and the team get everything they need to follow up with you later. Secondly, we are recording today's session. The replay will be available out in the Datacom and IDMS communities probably sometime tomorrow. And the last thing from me is that we always want to make sure these sessions are valuable. So with that in mind, we have a survey that's going to pop up at the end. If you can stick around and give us some feedback, I know everyone on the team would really appreciate it. That's it for me, so take it away, Sheila.
Thank you, Len, and thanks everyone for your participation in today's webcast. We certainly appreciate your time and consideration as always. For those of you who I've not had the opportunity to meet as of yet, my name's Sheila Miller. I'm a database offering manager here at Broadcom, helping to support our IDMS and Datacom customers. And I have the pleasure of introducing our primary speaker, Praveen Verma, who's part of our mainframe user experience team based in our Chicago office. And today, Praveen will be focusing on the benefits of design thinking workshops and the journey that we take in partnership with our customers. So at the end of the day, our goal really is to delve into your project needs with a focus on the as is and the to be state, uncovering pain points and key requirements along the way, which really gives us the opportunity to successfully deliver upon your needs. So we're excited about sharing these insights with you today as an introduction to what's possible. And we also look forward to deeper one-on-one discussions to determine how we can leverage these user experiences and all these activities in your organization. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you, Praveen.
Thank you, Sheila, for setting up the context. Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Praveen Verma. I'm part of the user experience team at Broadcom and work out of the Chicago office. In today's webcast, I'll explain design thinking at Broadcom and how you can benefit from it in your mainframe modernization journey. So let's kick it off. Okay, so when we talk about modernization with our customers, we hear a consistent story. And the story goes like this, that all the organizations are going through a digital transformation journey in some form or the other, with mainframe as an essential part of that journey. And this journey hasn't been smooth for most organizations. They are facing many challenges. And I've listed the top 3 challenges that we consistently hear from our customers. So the first challenge is around the mainframe team size. Most mainframe teams, as we know, have either shrunk in numbers or stayed flat, despite the increased workload, which means that the overloaded and understaffed mainframe teams have to carve out additional time to work on these new initiatives on top of their day-to-day work. So that's problem number 1, or the challenge number 1. The second challenge that we consistently hear is the scope of work, which is increasing over time. And that's increasing because the number of new applications touching the mainframe to access data and business logic rises day by day, despite the reduction in the mainframe workforce. So the same people or the same or fewer people handling more work. So that's problem number 2. And the third challenge is around skills, team skills. Most modernization projects require deep knowledge of RESTful APIs, modern tooling, DevOps, and other technologies. And the mainframe teams are not trained in these skills and technologies historically. So these challenges of size, scope, and skills prohibit mainframe teams from contributing effectively to the organization's modernization goals, despite their good intentions. So let me share in the next few slides how Broadcom can help you with the challenges that are mentioned here on this slide. So Broadcom mainframe has adopted design thinking as part of product development process. We offer a no charge, which is a very important, no charge design thinking workshop to our customers. But before we talk about a design thinking workshop, let me first talk about design thinking. So that's how I have laid out the agenda for today's call. What is design thinking? What is the workshop for? And the workshop, when I say workshop, I mean design thinking workshop. When is a good time for a design thinking workshop? And what are some of the next steps we can take? So why design thinking? Design thinking is an iterative, user-focused, and collaborative approach to problem solving. Design thinking is iterative because, as you can see on the slide, it's a closed loop process. It's never done. You continue to improve upon the existing experience. So you start with empathize, you go in define, you ideate, you prototype, you test, and you do it all over again. So it's never done. Design thinking is user focused because it focuses on the user outcomes at every step of the product development process. And lastly, design thinking is collaborative because it encourages cross-functional team participation to invoke diverse opinions. So that's why design thinking is important. So let's use an example. What do you see? It's a bike, a tool that takes you from point A to B. And if we are part of this this bike's product development team, hypothetically, of course, over time, we tend to shift our focus from the user outcomes to the bike's features, right? Features like pedal, wheels, handles, seat, etc. This is a typical problem in software development, and that happens because we have different teams we have sometimes different teams working on these features. So the team working on the handlebar will try to just think about the handlebar and will improve on that handlebar. The team who is working on brakes will think about brakes and will try to improve brakes for the bike. We become fixated on the features and how to improve individual ones and lose focus on the most crucial aspect, which is the purpose of the tool. We buy bikes because we want to ride. So let's talk about outcomes now. This picture is a focus of the user experience, the outcomes. It doesn't go into details about the bike or how it functions, right? It doesn't show you the handlebar, the pedal, or the wheels, right? This is about outcomes. It showcases the purpose behind it. The user experience is about the feel of the trail beneath the wheels, the burn in the rider's leg as she's riding the bike, and the crisp air against her face. That's user experience. And design thinking helps us focus on the user experience and outcomes instead of the features. Of course, features are important, right? Because they are driving the user experience, but we need to focus on the outcomes instead of the features. So to summarize, design thinking focuses on determining the real problem for the real users and exploring a wide range of potential solutions to find the most optimal one instead of jumping on the first solution, right? That we generally tend to do. We find a solution and we start working on it. And design thinking sort of, helps to prevent that situation. And the three salient features that I talked about earlier of design thinking are iteration, collaboration, and intense user focus. So that's, in a nutshell, is design thinking. So now we have understood, hopefully, the design thinking, what design thinking is. So let's talk about design thinking workshops What is a design thinking workshop? A design thinking workshop is a guided interaction through the design thinking process. It's a compressed form of the process as we go through most of the design thinking activities in just a couple of days with your team. It's also a journey in partnership with you where we facilitate discussions and explorations to solve your problems. So let's go into more details. A design thinking workshop focuses on the first three phases of design thinking. So this is a closed loop that we saw earlier. In a design thinking workshop, we focuses on empathy, define, and ideate. So empathy is where we learn about the users of the solution and their problems. It's about understanding the user's mindset. Define is where we clearly define the problems we'll be solving. And ideation or ideate is where we develop potential solutions for the identified problems. So design thinking focuses on the first three activities or phases of design thinking. Okay, so let's go into more details. When it comes to workshop logistics, the user experience team leads the workshop. It includes a diverse set of people from both Broadcom and your organization. The length and timing of the workshop is something that we determine with you during our intake process. So we have a form, and there is a form that we'll work on it together. And the process also includes, the intake process also includes building the goals and the objectives of the workshop. In terms of duration, it can be a full day or a few hours spread across several days. It's flexible based on your availability. We can conduct workshops online using various collaboration tools like Miro, WebEx, and other tools that we use, or we can do it in person at your site or on our site. It's based on your preference. In the workshop, your team and Broadcom teams participate in design thinking exercises to develop empathy for the end user for which we are designing the solution, identify the underlying cause or problems, prioritize potential problems if you have multiple, and brainstorm some solutions for those problems. So this is what happens in a typical workshop. So what does a workshop lead to? So these are the potential outcomes, and there are several potential outcomes from a workshop. On the business side, the outcome could be a phased roadmap of prioritized use cases, which you can use as a playbook in your organization to champion the problem and the solution. We also have a readout deck. The workshop readout deck contains details on the business challenges being solved, the benefits being provided, and how the benefits align with your business objectives. On the development and architecture side, the outcome could be a joint proof of concept where your team and Broadcom teams work together to showcase the value of technology in solving a real problem that you are facing. Or it could be an engineering research exercise for our teams, your team and our team. Or it could result in a change in our backlog where we prioritize your requirements. Generally, there are several outcomes from a design thinking workshop as reflected on this slide. So let me now share a real world case study where we clearly defined a problem for a customer. And what can you do with a clearly defined problem? So a large financial institution contacted us for one of our products, saying they wanted APIs. It's like asking for a bike seat from our bike example earlier. That's a feature, not a solution. So we recommended that the customer team reflects on the problem. Why do they want APIs? What problem is it solving? Is there some other way we should be solving it? Are there things we already have that can help them? Is this part of any work we have already got in progress? And most importantly, is this their biggest problem? What other challenges do they face? There could be several questions. And to answer all these questions and many more, we did a series of workshops with them. 6 attendees from Broadcom and 10 from the customer side, where we uncovered several issues. So after the workshop, we came back with broader outcomes, way beyond the APIs initially that they requested from us. We found three primary needs or three primary challenges that they were dealing with: reporting, self-service, and security. For the reporting needs, we looked at connecting the product to Grafana or Splunk using the RESTful APIs. We proposed a proof of concept that the customer's team and Broadcom would develop together. That is where APIs made sense. For their self-service needs, we suggested another workshop with an extended team. For the security needs, we were already working on new security architecture for that product. So this workshop actually provided an opportunity for the customer to try the new architecture, which resulted in deep architectural discussions between the teams. So we found several problems and provided a higher value and a strategic direction to the customer by reframing the discussion. And the customer benefited in several ways. It got support from our teams to develop a joint proof of concept. With Broadcom's support, their mainframe teams learned to work with new technologies, which helped with the team's skills and size problems I discussed earlier. So these are some of the benefits that the customers drove uh, from the workshop. So let's so when should you request a design thinking workshop? Here are some of the pointers. So some of the questions that you want to ask are you frustrated with your existing process today? Are you aware of a systemic problem that requires researching? Does this process involve inter-team dependencies and have gaps in it? And if your answer is yes to any questions, you should request a design thinking workshop. So I'll just leave this slide, so you can read it. I think this is very important because generally we don't know when should we go and ask for a design thinking workshop. Am I having a problem which requires conducting a workshop? So this slide, answers all those questions that you might have. So to summarize, design thinking workshop is part of our Beyond Code offering, and it's at no charge. So you should take advantage of it, right? Because it's no charge offering from Broadcom. It provides a foundation to build a strategic alliance where we develop solutions in partnerships. You get to work with our experts, so you work with our user experience team members like me, product managers like Sheila, Dale, Nakisha, and Rajesh, engineers, our lead engineers, our architects. So you get to work with many experts on our side. It provides a creative environment for your teams to collaborate and find solutions. So I hope I have provided you with enough information about design thinking and design thinking workshops to respond a poll, which you should see on your screens once LAN activates it. Slan, you know, if there's a poll, please activate it, and we'll give you a minute or two to respond.
Yep, so I've launched the poll, folks. It's being distributed now. Once people start voting, then we'll put a little timer on. Sometimes it takes a few seconds for GoToWebinar to distribute the poll. All right, people are starting to vote now. All right, votes are still coming in, so let's say another 30 seconds or so. All right, 10 more seconds, everybody. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, thanks, Lan, and thanks for participating in the survey or the poll. Let's go to the next slide here. Okay, so if you are interested in a design thinking workshop, and if you want to request one, we have an online form. The URL is on this slide, and the deck will be shared with you after the workshop. So this URL takes you to a page on our website where you can request a design thinking workshop. There's some basic information that you need to fill in, and the form actually comes back to our team, and we'll review it and reach out back to you. And of course, you know, this form is not the only way you can reach out to us. If you want to request a design thinking workshop, you can reach out to Sheila, Rajesh, Nakisha, Dale, me, or anyone else on our team to request a workshop. So, but this form is, you know, another way to reach out to us. So with that, you know, any questions for Sheila or me
I don't
on
see
this
any questions.
topic?
Yeah, I don't see any questions in the queue. Folks, if you have any questions, please do put them in the GoToWebinar control panel right under the questions section. We'll give you a few seconds to type those as well.
I have a few slides too, Lynn. So I mean, as I'm going through the slides, folks might have additional questions, and
Perfect.
we'll leave more time at the end. And I just want to say thank you, Praveen. Great job in sharing the benefits of the design thinking workshop. You know, together we've engaged in a lot of these with our customers and partnership, and the outcomes have been really valuable, really helping to solve pain points and you know, for our customers, but also for Broadcom to ensure that we're, you know, closing out gaps and delivering upon the critical needs of our customers. So thanks again, Praveen, and we hope that folks are interested in having deeper conversations. I'm going to cover just a couple of general announcements. So if you could maybe go to the next couple of slides, Praveen. And these are specific to IDMS and Datacom customers primarily. But this is just hopefully that didn't come out right. That slide is kind of messed up a little bit, but anyways, that's okay. When you get the slide deck, you'll have the bullets on here. But basically, hopefully everybody's received a save the date notification on our mainframe technical exchange, which, like last year, will be hosted virtually. So the dates have been set for October 4th to the 6th this year. And again, this is a no-cost technical event where we'll have a data management track, which will include both IDMS and Datacom sessions. So
Sorry,
that's okay.
did I?
Yep, you
What are
just
you
have to.
seeing? The
That's okay. I think,
screenshots?
yeah, we're
Give me
missing
a
the.
second.
That's okay. No worries. I'll keep on talking. Just in regards to the mainframe technical exchange, you know, more communications forthcoming as we get closer to the event. So, you know, registration, sessions agenda, and updates will be shared. So yeah, we're still seeing your screenshot. If maybe you can find the presentation, or I can maybe share my screen too if you can't.
I am trying to get to it. Give me a second. Yeah,
Sure.
I think. Okay, I found it. Give me a second. It's coming up.
No problem.
Okay, I think it's because where's my PowerPoint? Okay, maybe GoToMeeting is doing something, but yeah, here it comes. I think
There you
this is
go.
the one.
Perfect. So it just have to go down to the announcement slide again.
Make it bigger.
And you're
Okay,
not seeing your presentation mode. Oh, there you go. Okay,
there you go.
perfect. Yeah, so if you can,
Now you can see it, right?
yeah, and if you can go to the next slide, actually, Praveen, that's perfect. One more slide. There you go. So in addition to the design thinking workshop that we've talked about today, these are some other opportunities to get involved, the community's ideas and customer validation. So if you're not registered for the communities, we encourage that you do get registered. That's where we do post all of our happenings and upcoming events out in the communities, and it gives you an opportunity also to connect with other customers for both IDMS and Datacom, and as well as our engineering teams. And the ideas allows you to have a voice in regards to product specific ideas, and that's something that we do monitor consistently. So those are things that we discuss internally and work with our customers on as we determine things that we pull into our backlog. And of course, customer validation is key to our success. In addition to everything else that we talked about. So if you're not familiar with customer validation, that's yet another way that you can participate with our teams and work directly with our teams to shape the future of our products. So please reach out to us with questions there. And then finally on this slide, like today, we have monthly webcasts. So we have two actually in the month. We have the second Thursday of the month is for Datacom. The third Thursday is typically IDMS, but this is a joint one this month. And then we also are now hosting quarterly office hours. We had our first a couple months ago, and we plan to have another one likely in the June timeframe. So we hope that you can join us there. And then if you can go to the next slide, I just wanted to have a quick shout out on our Vitality program. So if you're struggling to find DBA resources, and if you have, if you're challenged with DBA resources, or you're looking for some folks to augment your team or support your systems, Vitality is a program that's focused on growing and retaining DBA resources, and we're investing in attracting new talent to the market where we, meaning Broadcom, are willing to hire and train and then take these folks, make these folks available to our customers. So this is done in partnership with our customers to grow the talent together. We train on the mainframe, we train on the DBA type skill sets and the product skills, but then we rely on our customers to train and mentor these folks on the unique tribal knowledge within your specific environment. So once these resources are trained, it's all about retaining them and making sure that everyone we hire into the space understand that there's a solid career path for them. So this is another offering that no to low cost to our customers that we've invested in to support our customers. So if this sounds interesting to you, please reach out to us directly. And also there's an email address there. You could reach out to our Vitality program management team directly as well. If you can go to the next slide, Praveen. We did want to take a couple of minutes just to make sure that everybody's aware, and also to remind customers that we announced the end of service for Datacom AD ZOS 14.0 and 15.0 last August, which leaves Datacom AD 15.1 as our GA release. So the effective end of service date is coming up, August 31st, 2022. In the next slide, you'll see that we had hosted a Datacom AD upgrade overview and best practices back last year in August, and the replay link is there. And we've also created YouTube series consisting of upgrade overview along with a 6-stage upgrade process. So a total of 7 snippet videos that provide you with insights on the end-to-end process. And they're all under 11 minutes, so they're really easy to consume. So we hope that you benefit from those as well. And then the next slide, just want to make sure everyone's aware that on March 24th, Broadcom announced the end of life for Chorus Software Manager, also known as CSM or MSM. So we'll offer up a 15-month of support to customers from this particular date, which means that as of the effective date, it'll no longer be enhanced, and maintenance and technical support, including self-service support, will be discontinued as of June 30th, 2023. So we're urging our customers, to start using IBM ZOSMF for software management as part of their new, cross-vendor standard, which we support with both IDMS and Datacom. And I believe that leads us to our last slide, which is a poll. And we just wanted to get a sense from our customers, who's leveraging ZOSMF? Are you leveraging it today? Is it something that you're looking at for adoption plans that are, either in the near future or underway? And then no, not at this time. So I'll pause there.
Thanks, Sheila. The poll is distributing. I'll let everybody know once votes start coming in. All right, people are starting to respond. So let's say we'll keep it open for another 20 or so seconds. All right, let's say 5 more seconds because people are still voting. All right, thank you very much, everybody.
Yes, thank you for those insights. Really appreciate it. And that's it, really. That brings us to the question slide. So we're back to questions. I don't know if there's any questions currently, Len.
There still are not any questions, so I guess you guys covered it so well today that there weren't any questions.
Well, that's good news. All right. Well, with that, I guess we can conclude. Len, I guess back to you. I just want to say thank you.
Thanks very much. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. I'll also remind you that we do have our post-event survey that will pop up when I hit the close button, but we will talk to you next month. Have a great day and a great weekend.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.